What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room. And this is where we at now. So you clearly see the title of the broadcast here. And of course, we all remember Montel Williams and things like that. You know, had a talk show back in the 90s and things like that. Nowadays, I'm guessing he's, in his much more political bag or whatever. Who knows now? And Montel did a lot of things. He also dated Kamala. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So, just giving a little rundown of, where we're going here with Montel Williams nowadays. So apparently, he's going to be talking to Scott Jennings, of course, on CNN and stuff like that. And man, he's going to be talking about, it's going to be coming from a very sensitive angle here. So listen, look, we're just going to dive off into this. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
And somebody was disparaging the person that he loved.
Hold on. My bad. Let's go here now.
Talking about a love-torn child, a kid. This is probably his first real relationship. And somebody was disparaging the person that he loved. He sat on that building for 30 minutes before he took the shot. Why did he wait until the first word trans came up? Then he took the shot.
You think he heard it? He could hear it?
I think he could hear it. I think he also, I don't believe he was motivated politically. I think this was motivated emotionally.
Guys, the evidence here is overwhelming. He said, Charlie Kirk, I can't stand this hate anymore. I'm going to take him out. The testimony from him and the statements of his family, he had become more left wing. He etched the statements that are made by the left about Republicans and conservatives and Charlie Kirk fascist on the bullet casings.
He made a joke about it in his last text.
Well, it doesn't sound like a joke to me because
he made a joke about it in his last text. What are you talking about? Who takes time to engrave bullets with such words? Or do you understand how much time it takes to mark a bullet, a small bullet? Do you know how much time it really takes to etch some things like that into a bullet? Come on, people. Listen, look, this is crazy out here. I don't know what the fuck drugs Montel Williams is on nowadays. But you know what I'm saying? He's talking clearly out the side of his neck. This is crazy, bro. This is wild. And he's talking about this dude was a child. This is a grown-ass man. A child? What are we doing over here in America? We're considering these legal adults that are able to go buy alcohol from stores and put their names on, business documents and buy apartments and stuff like that. And Montel is sitting on there talking about this man like he's a fucking child. His first love and all this type of crap. What are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about? There's that sensitivity shit that's ridiculous with these old grown ass boomers and shit. Well, he's not a boomer. I think he's an Xer. But this is crazy right here. This makes no sense. And the sad part about it is this man, Montel used to actually serve in the armed forces. It's ridiculous, bro.
Someone's dead and about to be buried.
Well,
so it doesn't sound like a joke to me. So I'm just telling you, there is an effort. There was an effort all weekend long on the left to try to make this guy sound like he was a conservative. That failed. That was passed around all over the weekend. That has now failed. The evidence has now come out. He was motivated by hate. He was motivated by left-wing radicalism. He got mixed up with some trans ideology in his life. We'll learn more about that, I'm sure, when more evidence and testimony comes out. We are looking around the edges of this for something other than what's staring us in the face. Left-wing radicalism got this kid. He went up to a roof and he murdered our friend, and that's what happened.
Listen, look, the thing of this is that, you know what I'm saying, if this dude's own father turned him in, you have to think about this. And his father, Republican, things like that, you know what I'm saying, conservative, whatever you want to call it. His own father turned him in. He was like, no, son, we're not standing for this bullshit. And we also have heard text messages and things like that. And yes, I'm gonna bring another broadcast to the forefront, and we're gonna get the text messages and everything and stuff like that he has also. Hold on here. I'll make it do something real quick. Let me go here now. You guys just hold on. Hold on for me. I can get a good beat on things here because this is ridiculous here. You know what I'm saying? And this is where we at here. Let's see. Let's go here now. Okay, we're gonna go here now. And I'm gonna check some things out. We're gonna check some things out real quick. So okay, we got that there, and right now we're gonna go to Anton Daniels because he's got the text messages and things like that that the killer was talking to his significant other and things like that. Let's go here now. Let's check this out real quick. All right.
Police interviewed Robinson's roommate, a biological male who was involved in a romantic relationship with Robinson. The roommate told police that the roommate received messages from Robinson about the shooting, and he did provide those messages to police. On September 10th, 2025, the roommate received a text message from Robinson which said, "Drop what you're doing. Look under my keyboard." The roommate looked under the keyboard and found a note that stated, quote, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it." Police found a photograph of this note. The following text exchange, then took place. After reading the note, the roommate responded, "What? You're joking, right?" Robinson, "I am still okay, my love, but I'm stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you." Roommate, "You weren't the one who did it, right?" Robinson, I am. I'm sorry." Roommate, "I thought they caught the person." Robinson, "No, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering." Roommate, "Why?" Robinson, "Why did I do it?" Roommate, "Yeah." Robinson, "I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I am able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it."
Some people are just incredibly demonic, bro. And I'm amazed at the left's attempts to try to spin this into being something about Republicans or conservatives or trying to make it seem like this young man was conservative. Nah, his father was. And once he got from under his father's covering and he decided to go off and be liberally indoctrinated, this is what it then turned into. It turned into something demonic that led to Charlie Kirk's death. And people need to really grasp that and own it and take responsibility for the fact that the liberal is an indoctrination camp. And I don't understand why we continue to give hatred such a huge platform in today's society and won't hold it accountable. And when I see somebody is doing something hatred, like I'll give you an example, right? When I had heard, and I know I'm not sure if everybody know about this because you may not be in Michigan or you may not just be familiar. When I had heard about the plot to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, and I absolutely do not like Gretchen Whitmer. I don't like the job that she's doing in Michigan. I hated her governance during the pandemic. I think that it was absolutely awful. And that's why I had moved to Florida for 4 months in the wintertime, because I just couldn't take it anymore. When I had heard about that, my immediate reaction, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be somebody in the chat or some people in the chat that correct me or tell me that it wasn't
Okay, hold on. You know what I'm saying? No slight to Anton, real talk. I'll try to prove a point here. You know what I'm saying? Let me go here now. Hold on, guys. You know what I'm saying? Mad love to Anton, though. You know what I'm saying? For real, though. But let's go here now. Hold on. Let's see where we at.
Let's continue with the text messages.
Roommate, how long have you been planning this? Robinson, a bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there is a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it. Robinson again, I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got to my vehicle. I'm worried what my old man would do if I didn't bring back Grandpa's rifle. IDEK if it's had a serial number, but it wouldn't trace to me. I worry about prints. I had to leave it in a bush where I changed outfits. Didn't have the ability or time to bring it with. I might have to abandon it and hope they don't find prints. How the F will I explain losing it to my old man? Only thing I left was the rifle wrapped in a towel. Remember how I was engraving bullets? The F in messages are mostly a big meme. If I see notice bulge UWU on Fox News, I might have a stroke, all right. I'm gonna have to leave it. That really effing sucks. Judging from today, I'd say Grandpa's gun does just fine, IDK. I think that was a $2K scope. Wink, wink. Robinson again, delete this exchange. Again, Robinson, my dad wants photos of the rifle. He says Grandpa wants to know who has what. The feds released a photo.
Sound like the dad already knew and that he was trying to get him to find out without saying
Right.
What was happening.
Right. I definitely agree with that.
Rifle, and it is very unique. He's calling me, RN, not answering. Robinson, since Trump got into office, my dad has been pretty diehard MAGA. Robinson, I'm going to turn myself in willingly. One of my neighbors here is a deputy for the sheriff. Again, you are all I worry about, love. That came from Robinson. Roommate, I'm much more worried about you. Robinson, don't talk to the media, please. Don't take any interviews or make any comments. If any police ask you questions, ask for a lawyer and stay silent.
Well, now you know why he wasn't cooperating. It's all demonic. It's all evil. And it's
now, shout out to Anton, though. Real talk. I got to get Anton his props. You know what I'm saying? I do follow Anton Daniels. If you don't, then you need to. Listen, look, so we're going to keep going here because we're going to get back to the situation with Montel Williams and Scott Jennings. But I had to show you this, guys. And Anton had the text messages. He had the situation in hand. So we're going to go here now, and we're going to keep going with what Scott Jennings and Montel Williams was talking about. Let's go here now.
Scott just got all angry, got real mad. Fix it. It's got to be this. It's got to be this. It's got to be this. Why can't we have a discussion about how long is it going to take for us to figure out a way to come back together?
Just to be clear, I am angry.
Can we just let him finish?
I am angry.
Scott, I'll let you
because
talk.
I knew it.
Scott, I'll let you talk in just a second. Go ahead.
Could we spend as much time figuring out how we bridge this and come back together again? You know, I used to have a note on my producer's desk when I did my show that was said, we don't belabor what happens. We try to figure out why it happens and come up with solutions. Right now, all we're doing is belaboring what happened over and over and over and over again. We're not going to sit down and try to figure out how do we stop it. If we want to
go after left-wing terrorists. That's actually exactly the conversation we're having, is we're acknowledging there's a problem.
So anybody who disagrees with
So
you is a
there's
left-wing terrorist.
Absolutely not. But if they target a conservative and murder him in brutal fashion, he's
Let
probably
me
a
answer
left-wing
your
terrorist.
question.
Yes, that
You
person is a murderer.
said-
We can all acknowledge that.
You said I am angry, and I'm just telling. I am channeling the emotions of millions of conservatives who are angry. They knew Charlie. They loved Charlie. They viewed Charlie as a mainstream conservative Republican voice who talked about issues that millions of Americans believe. He also talked about his faith. And he did it by going to college campuses, which are not normally hospitable to conservatives, and offering his opponents a microphone to have what we always
In
say.
support of what? In support of what?
Civil
So
discourse.
Not only that, but support of the First Amendment.
And
He
guess
made
what?
sure
He-
that people had an opportunity
guess
to
what?
stand
He
in
was-
a room and talk.
He was murdered trying to do what we always say. Why don't we talk to each other? So yes, it's not even been a week. So you're going to have to give us a little grace on being angry about somebody who did what you always say that we should do. Let's talk.
We didn't
And he
get much
got killed.
grace over. Did
And he
we
got
get more
killed.
than a week's grace over
So
two Michigan elected officials who were murdered?
Minnesota.
Did we give? Was it
Well-
3 weeks before we decided to say that there was something wrong with Speaker Pelosi's husband being hit in the head with a hammer?
by a homeless drug addict? I mean, it was terrible that happened. This is not the same kind of case. This is according to the local officials, as Ellie just told us, a clear political motivation of a guy that a lot of us held dear, that a lot of us considered to be
I
somebody
do
who
think-
a
hold on, I
mainstream
don't
voice.
think
He
we
was
can-
not an extremist.
I don't
He
think
was a
we-
mainstream voice.
Pelosi's attacker may have been mentally ill, but he was also politically motivated. I also think
Scott just got all angry.
Listen. Listen. This whole situation is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? The whole dynamic is messed up. And the thing of this is that, yes, this opened the door for the freedom of speech situation to be counteracted to a degree. Also to, you know what I'm saying, we have to understand how sensitive this situation really is. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be honest with you here. This is the first assassination that has ever happened live in the 21st century. This is a huge deal. And whether we like it or not, it just is what it is. This generation of people have never seen anybody deleted like this on national TV, the world TV. You know what I'm saying? Internet, all this type of stuff. Even back in the day when King and all them, got assassinated, it only made world news, after the fact, weeks after the fact, because it had, it took weeks to travel around the world. This was instantaneously. Everybody around the world has the internet now, pretty much, unless you're just super off in the jungle or something, but any civilized society amongst the world saw this happen live. And this is the thing here, with this new age stuff, but we can't sit here and negate the facts that, the information that came out. This young man was pretty much discarded by his own family. He was outcast and things like that because of, his newfound beliefs, whatever you want to say, and things like that. But there are certain entities and things like that, or certain people that want to keep trying to say that, yeah, he was, a right wing or whatever. But at the same time, though, too, the evidence doesn't show that. It shows that he was radicalized and stuff like that. Y'all saw the text messages, stuff like that. You saw the interaction between him and his lover, and you saw the actual aspect of what he thought, how he was feeling, things like that, and how his lover was asking him questions. Woo-de-woo. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. This cannot be negated. And this is where it's at right here. So Montel is talking out the side of his neck. And, and this is after all the evidence has come out. and the information has come out. You know what I'm saying? These people are doing a serious investigation. They're not taking this investigation lightly. And I don't suggest they do. You know what I'm saying? And it's just the truth. But Cheto, it's crazy out here, man. This is sad. But at the same time, though, too, you know, like I said in previous broadcasts, I think we need to keep pushing back to not allow this door to be opened. You know, for the freedom of speech to be stopped. I think, you know, the freedom of speech is, you know, collectively sitting down with opposite opinions and talking things out and trying to figure things out. Not just somebody that's just wailing on, you know, I'm right, you're wrong, you know, you gotta be gone because I'm right, or you gotta be gone because I'm right. That's not how things work. And it's sad out here, and we need to actually get back to a civilized way here in America to where we can actually be applicable and make sure that we live life and make America work, because the rest of the world is looking at us and we look like Boo-Boo the Fool out here, and it's a sad fucking situation.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
It's a sad situation. Hold on here.
You old fish-eyed fool.
It's crazy, but it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.